I came to film because I think that I've always been the other in a way. If you're born in Australia at the time that I was, around 1960, before or after, I think I came to film because I was born in a non-Anglo family in an Anglo country. My parents both come from Lebanon, so you have an outsider's perspective straight away. And I think for film to be strong, you need more than just your comfortable insider's perspective. You need diversity. You need to understand there are other ways to do things and other ways to understand things. So I guess that's how I come to film, from diversity, inclusion, and also from a perspective of social justice. I hate filmmaking, I loathe it, but I also love it. It's so difficult, but it's so rewarding. It's just seeing it through. It's a collaborative effort, and that's always difficult. And it's difficult to know when a film is finished, because I'm quite perfectionist, so it's good for me if I'm being paid for the film, because then the deadline is very clear. So no, I've never thought about giving up film. It's a way to say what you need to say and to help other people say what they need to say.
Other people are doing it to you, but it's like you get stuck in your head and your own emotions. So we can express what that person is feeling by the voiceover, but this is a way for other people in the story to also express what they think.
I think it's really important that girls take their place at the table, especially younger girls, that they have their voices heard. And that in turn leads to, being heard throughout their life, being on boards, being on organisations, being, present at the places decisions are made, where power is negotiated.
I have a passion for making film. It looks really fun.
Because I think it's really interesting. Like, it's amazing how you can manipulate the audience to make you think in a certain way.
Because I was watching movies my whole life and I really liked them, and I was always wondering how filmmakers make it. Like, it looks fun when you watch movies, and I also like to. I wish this movie goes on internet and people watch it and have fun.
I hope that the films that I make challenge people, and they're as varied as things. Films are as varied as films on identity and language and culture and racism and fatherhood and drug usage and domestic violence. So I hope that the films make people question what they believe, open up dialogues. So when we went there, in our honour, a goat was slaughtered. It was kind of a magnificent thing, given that people have a very poor diet. It was very, very generous of them to do it. These are photos I took in an Algerian refugee camp. This one I really like. It's this man who was at the landmine victim centre, and he's blind, so he couldn't see how magnificent he looked, but I thought he just looked great. We had a translator, Spanish, English, French, Bedouin Arabic, and Hassani, which is the local Arabic. So these are the Western Saharan people, the Sahrawis, in the campus in Algeria. So one of the strongest moments, I think, was when I showed this film in a cinema to a select audience, and I think my views were quite strong, because it's about social justice. It's about, why do you let people in to a country but then you don't facilitate their learning of the language or facilitate them coming into the society. And when I made that, when I screened the film in the cinema, it was like I felt totally naked. It's like I had ants crawling over my body. It was an enormous thing to have your true values up there on the big screen in front of your peers and your friends. Open Gardens, we have a mailing list of 6,000 people who are really interested in the concept, and we want to go out and show it in these centres.
And there can be many other games.
Working with Mona has been really an amazing experience. It was a very long time for us to realise the project, but it was very clear from the beginning Mona's intention about what she wanted to make, and that was very, very easy to kind of then start to work out what's the framing, how you're going to support the artist to do what they want to do. So there's been through a few variations, and the outcome now has been very, very special in the sense that I think it's really condensed a lot of the ideas and put forward a very clear vision about the project.
In 2014 I started something called Saga Stockholm International Women's Film Festival, and then I came to Adelaide and did the same thing this year, 2018, but it was Saga Adelaide International Women's Film Festival. And in amongst that we discovered that 97% of the films we see are made by men. 93%. So it begs the question, where are the women's stories? With Saga, Adelaide International Women's Film Festival, it went like this. At the beginning of 1 week, we had 20 films, and then I thought, let's go international, having lived abroad, most of my life. So we went international. By the end of that week, we had 800 films. So this is 800 films from women all over the world, women that had something to say.
It's been a really good community event, and I've got to see a lot more of Adelaide and our international community than I otherwise would have. So.
I came because I think anything that gives platforms to people who are marginalised in any part of the world is really important to support. I think being somebody who is part of a minority community, or many minority communities in Australia, I think it's very important to show solidarity in different areas, and just to know that these stories are being told and to help them be amplified.
So filmmaking, if it's not a challenge to you, don't do it.